Hey guys, I've been meaning to redo this one because this is a really important technique that a lot of you already know how to do, but it's the version that we've got up online here is like a couple years old, and I just want to make some updates to it. So today we're doing the vastus lateralis. And what's the vastus lateralis? Well, most people, when they think they have an IT band problem, they actually have a vastus lateralis problem. The vastus lateralis is the quad muscle that's just in front of the IT band off to the diagonal of the thigh. Okay, so it'll connect from the outer edge of your knee up to the outer hip flexors. So we did the TFL last week. That's up here on Patreon. But the vastus lateralis is just below that. So I thought this would be a nice natural transition to, if you have hip flexor issues, not only working out the hip flexors themselves, but traveling down the whole line of the quads. Most people don't know that they need this work. But what we do know is that, our pelvis is tilted forward or anteriorly and we have back issues, or maybe our psoas is really tight. And what that does is it asks the vastus lateralis to become like a flexed muscle. It brings it into flexion. And so if we can release these hip flexors and the vastus, then we might just bring balance back to the posture by putting the pelvis back into a neutral place. Okay, so let's do it. This is one of the most sensitive places on the body because it's one of the thickest and most important postural muscles. So it's going to feel sensational. If you've never done this before, and most of my friends out there, you have, so let's just like do it together today. But if you've never done it, then we're going to, we'll talk you through it. Okay, so first you get on your roller. Take your quadriceps on the roller, forearms on the ground. Keep your toes low so that there's none of this. Okay, your belly's pulled in. You get a bonus plank here, which is always nice. Walk your forearms forward and start to drag your quadriceps down the roller, stopping just short of your kneecaps. And then glide back up. Now just get sort of a feel for your tissues. Turn your toes away from each other. Glide through the inner edge of your quadriceps. And turn your toes toward each other. Glide through the outer edge of your quadriceps. And this is when we're going to get more serious about this outer edge. So get the roller to come all the way up to your pubic bone. And let's start by rolling at our left side. So bring your right hand to the floor. And then go ahead and bend your right knee and pop it up on top of the roller. Now to start, cruise back until the roller just rests in the pocket of your hip crease. If you go back too far, you're going to lump over the bone and into your belly. So just stay below the hip bone and on those gummy hip flexors. You might want to play around here. Maybe immediately this feels nice. Windshield wiper the left heel from side to side, or bend your left knee and windshield wiper that from side to side, digging into these hip flexors here, the TFL attachment. But if you're ready to get in the meat of potatoes of this area, extend the left leg back straight. Keep your hips at this open 45-degree angle and start to walk forward, dragging now the outer diagonal edge of your quadricep against the roller. Try to make it all the way down to the outer edge of your knee. You might not be able to. There might be a spot that takes your breath away right there at the top. So just follow that sensation and stay on that spot. Okay, now right off the bat, using a hard roller for this is challenging. If you have a squishy roller at home, switch to that. Still going to be challenging, but just less so, a little more approachable. If you don't have that, and also there are a lot of my friends at home who have short rollers, not this long one that you can put your knee on, slide the roller over to the left thigh and let your right knee come to the ground. Okay, this is going to distribute your weight into the ground a little bit more so that your pressure is less intense. Some of you are already having to do that because your roller is like a quarter size, or maybe it's a half size. You can return both elbows to the ground when you find a spot. Now let's find a spot together. It's going to be the one that feels the most challenging, okay? Come on to it. Don't run away. I know you want to. Take a breath When you exhale, release all the tension that you're holding in your left kneecap. Just let your left kneecap melt. Yeah. That is the hardest part, and that's the part that makes the most change in the tissues. Now, maybe you can keep the same quality of softness that you just found while you gently bend your knee. Extend back out. You also might not want to do any of that. You'll just stay and breathe and focus on trying to really absorb the pressure instead of fight back against it. This is such a layered, thick line of muscle tissue. Don't be afraid to go really slow as you steamroll over it, and stay for up to like 5 minutes just on one thigh. Now, when you are done, and you might not be anywhere near that yet, and that's fine, but when you are, bring both thighs back onto the roller, both elbows back onto the ground, glide forward, glide backward, and now feel the difference from one thigh to the other. If you have a lower dodic curve and anterior pelvic tilt, I'd be really surprised if your back didn't feel a little bit more relaxed after doing this sequence. Definitely make sure to do the other side, okay? If you need a refresher on how to do it, just rewind, go back to the beginning, hit that back arrow and start it again. Thank you guys. I hope this is helpful, okay? Let me know what you think.